Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today, we're diving into the sometimes wacky, often baffling, always fascinating world of business. And more specifically, we're talking about some of the biggest financial blunders in corporate history. We're going to look back at the moments when companies, sometimes huge names that seemed untouchable, made decisions that set cash on fire. So, buckle up as we journey through some of the most infamous corporate decisions that left everyone wondering, what were they thinking? This is billion-dollar blunders. Okay, let's rewind back to the year 2000. The dot-com bubble was in full swing, and the internet was about to change the world. Enter AOL, the king of dial-up internet, a company synonymous with that iconic sound of connecting to the World Wide Web. Remember that screeching noise? Yeah, that one. AOL was a giant, and they had their sights set on an even bigger prize, Time Warner. Time Warner was a behemoth of print publications, movies, and television. On paper, the merger seemed like a match made in heaven. AOL had the internet savvy, the young audience, the digital future. Time Warner had the content, the experience, the old-school media power. But as we know, things didn't quite go as planned. The merger, valued at a staggering $164 billion, quickly became a cautionary tale. You see, the dot-com bubble, yeah, it burst. And when it did, it took AOL's stock price down with it. The merger, which was supposed to be a power move, turned into a financial albatross. It was a disaster of almost unimaginable proportions. In the end, the merger was dissolved in 2009, but not before it had become a legendary example of how not to run a business. Few years, a shadow of its potential before being quietly discontinued in 2012. The financial losses for Microsoft were significant, but perhaps the bigger loss was the missed. Remember the good old days of heading down to your local video rental store on a Friday night, browsing the aisles for the perfect movie and hoping they didn't have all the good copies of The Lion King checked out? Yeah, those were the days. And Blockbuster, for a time, was the undisputed king of that world. They were everywhere, it seemed, with their blue and gold logo beckoning movie lovers from strip malls across the land. But as the digital age dawned, a new challenger emerged: Netflix. You know, the streaming giant that's now basically how everyone watches everything? Well, back in the early 2000s, Netflix was this plucky little startup sending DVDs through the mail. In a move that would go down in business lore as one of the biggest blunders of all time, Blockbuster had a chance to buy Netflix for a cool $50 million. That's right, a mere $50 million for the company that would eventually revolutionize how we consume entertainment. But Blockbuster, blinded by their brick-and-mortar dominance, passed. They thought, who needs streaming when you have thousands of stores and late fees? Oh, Blockbuster, the hubris. Fast forward a few years, and the tables had turned. Netflix's streaming service exploded in popularity, while Blockbuster's business model, with its late fees and limited selection, seemed as antiquated as, well, VHS tapes. Blockbuster eventually tried to launch their own streaming service, but it was too little, too late. The Blockbuster story is a cautionary tale about the importance of adapting to change, of recognizing disruptive technologies, and of not underestimating the little guy. Alright, let's fast forward to the not-so-distant past, to the year 2019. The gig economy is booming, co-working spaces are all the rage, and there's a new kid on the block: WeWork. The company, founded in 2010, had a simple yet enticing premise: provide flexible, stylish office spaces for freelancers, startups, and anyone looking for a break from their boring old office. WeWork's rise was nothing short of meteoric. They were leasing out office space at an astonishing rate, expanding into cities around the world and attracting billions of dollars in investments. They were the darlings of the tech world, with a valuation that soared to a dizzying $47 billion. But beneath the surface of sleek offices and kombucha on tap, there were cracks in the WeWork facade. WeWork's business model was essentially based on renting out long-term office space and then subletting it for short-term gains. As WeWork grew at breakneck speed, their losses were also mounting. They were spending money faster than they could make it, all while their eccentric CEO, Adam Neumann, was making headlines for his lavish spending and questionable business practices. Then, the IPO debacle happened. In 2019, WeWork filed for an initial public offering, hoping to raise billions of dollars from public investors. But when potential investors took a closer look at WeWork's financials, they were met with a sea of red ink. The WeWork story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of rapid growth, the importance of sound business fundamentals, and the risks of unchecked hype. The company that was once valued at billions was soon facing lawsuits, investigations,